Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comic Shop Talk. I'm your host, Nico, and joining with me today, as always, is my co-host, Chris. How you doing, man?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. And of course, we are here, as always, on the Late Night Collectors community. This is the place where you can find all the collectors' interests here on this channel, or an extension of the Late Night Chat Network YouTube channel. So definitely check out our sister site there. And, this is the show where we talk about our weekly comics, though. And we're going to be talking about comics for the week of February 8th, 2023 here today. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Like I said, we talk about comics, cards, anything else, anything else of interest that we collect here, the people that are on our shows here. I think there should be some cracking packs with the chat episodes coming up soon. I've been told. You can always check out those shows as well. Chris has been on there as well. Sometimes we open up, sports cards, collectible trading cards, this kind of stuff. And spoiler warning here today, guys. Just be forewarned, we are going to be talking about what happens in the books that we read this week. Some things get spoiled. Sometimes we try to stay away from big spoilers if we can. But we show off some of the art, some of the preview art from these books, as well as talk about what happens in them. So, something's bound to get spoiled sometimes. So just be forewarned. I don't want to hear any whining. All right, Chris, without further ado, though.
All right, let's talk comics. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, man, I was all over the place on that intro. I didn't know where I was going. All right. So it's a small week this week, guys. This is the last week was really small, and this week was just as small. So, we got about 7 books to talk about here today. So that's kind of been the norm the last couple of weeks. So the little bit of quicker episodes for you guys, but that's okay. We'll be back at it next week. It looks like it's a big one for me, at least. So yeah, we'll get to that later. First up, we got Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, which is Sins of Sinister tie-in event 1 of 3. What'd you think of this, Chris?
I didn't think it was too bad. I didn't buy this one. I just read this one online, I guess. And I thought the story is great. It's moving along. The Sins of Sinister is shaping up to be pretty good. I kind of get some history of what happened on Arakko there, and kind of what happened with Storm. It's not my favorite character, but she seems to be, I guess, one of the only rebels, I guess, in this new Sinister world. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you with Storm not being one of my favorite characters, but I mean, she always gets put into these important positions for the X-Men, in terms of even her status on teams, or you know what I mean, in this sense. So she is an important character. She is an Omega level mutant, right? So she is important. So I get why they would want to put her as the head of Arakko there in this line of books, right? So yeah, I like this. I quite liked it, actually. It was interesting. You didn't really have to know a lot of what's been going on in X-Men Red previous to this, because this takes place 10 years in the future, this first issue. Like you said, I think they're going to be jumping ahead 10 years, 100 years or whatever, right, Chris? Yeah. I think you had mentioned. So yeah, so basically they kind of detail that they lost the war essentially to Sinisters. The planet basically got destroyed, and I guess this is just her now picking up the pieces and trying to, she's got some people with her still, and they're still trying to push back. And Mystique's in this, showing up as Destiny, and trying to pretend that she's Destiny. And she mentions the fact that there might be a way to fix everything, which is questions that we had even previous to this event launching off. Is it was the fact that I guess those clones are still out there of Moira McTaggart that were stolen by Sinister at the end of that last issue. So they say that they know the location of these clones, and if they were to kill one of them, they can basically go back to before all this started, essentially start a new timeline, right? So I think that's kind of the mission that these people are on. And I thought this was really cool, where you seen all the different types of clone mutants, Sinister type mutants.
Yeah, those chimeras or whatever, all the mix of everybody's.
Yeah, this one was Amaro and somebody else. Who the fuck? Not Toad. It was Marrow and somebody else, though. The fact that it's throwing all the bones and stuff at them. I thought that was kind of neat, because you got to see some amalgamations of different X-Men characters and stuff like that. So yeah, this was a solid issue, though. I did like it. That all being said, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and a lot of twists and turns in there. It really keeps you guessing. Oh yeah, the ending there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the original Sinister in there, and just a lot of questions in this, because I guess you have to protect that more Mataga clone at any cost, because if she dies for any reason, then everything gets reset no matter what. I know you froze again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I guess we'll see what ends up happening with Moira there. And I do like the fact that this isn't taking place in present day time in the X-Men books, right?
Yeah.
So that's always good, because I think they're able to tell a more interesting story. Kind of feels like Age of Apocalypse or something like that. The fact that they're doing it in the future, like something along those lines, right? Because that's kind of what this event feels like in a sense, with them spinning off into all these little mini series, right? It's just these kind of future X-Men stories, but this is a Doom future based on what Sinister did instead of Apocalypse this time around, right?
Yeah.
So what'd you give this one?
I'd give it a 4. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 too, 4 out of 5. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was kind of bouncing between 3.75 and 4, but yeah, no, I did. This was a surprise for me. I really, like I said, I agree with. I didn't pick it up either. I also read this online like you did, but the only one I think I went all in on picking up physically is the Immortal X-Men, because we were really like an Immortal X-Men as kind of an extension of that, but not reading X-Men Red anymore, so I wasn't sure about this one, but it turned out to be.
Yeah, I might be regretting not getting that Nightcrawler one either. That one looks kind of crazy too, but I guess we'll see when that comes out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and I had the spoiler warning scrolling across the bottom there. Oops. Spoiler warning, guys. Come on. It's
kind of like the spoiler, but whatever.
All right, Daredevil number 8.
Woof.
Yeah.
There we go. I got the physical copy of this.
Yeah, me too. Got my
Oh,
copy.
man alive. Zdarsky's delivering in this one here. The art was great in there. I don't know what to say about this. And then the ending for this one, too, on top of it. Even better. Yeah, how can you not like Punisher riding a dragon there or something? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And, and there's like actual fighting between Punisher and Daredevil. They're getting into each other's faces. Oh, I thought it was great. I loved it. And I'm still not sure who everybody's on Punisher's or on Daredevil's team. I know he's got a bunch of those hoods that he released and kind of tried to turn into a part of his army. So I got a little confused on that part, but otherwise, I thought this was a great issue.
Yeah, I mean, he had Stegron. He had
Stegron is somebody from the Wrecking Crew in there, and there's that.
Yeah, Stiltman.
That kept our U.S. Agent Shield.
Yeah, Stiltman is part of the team. Yeah, and then one of the one of those symbiote women is.
Yeah.
I don't know which one that is. What's her name?
Yeah, Agony. I guess they really kind of powered her down or something for this, but
yeah. So, but yeah, no, this was really good. I mean, the art was killer in this issue. I thought like it was an action-packed issue, all done in the rain, classic Daredevil type shit, right? I mean, what more do you want? Like you said, there's a fucking dragon in this issue, the Punisher. Not a lot of like, story really kind of moved forward in this, but like, it was the big fight, right? So like, what's not to like about that? Daredevil and Punisher, and you know what I mean? Like they kind of lost at the end, the fist, or that's what Daredevil's crew is, right? It's a fist.
Yeah.
And so they ended up losing because they just couldn't take him down, and I guess they kind of had to escape.
Well, I guess they did what they wanted. They got the kid and they got the dad. So we did what we wanted to do. Let's get out of here and regroup, I guess.
And Elektra took some sort of pendant from that girl, that ninja girl.
Yeah.
That she fought in this scene, because she got stabbed though. Like,
yeah, I took something in the gut too there. I don't know if it's one of those whatever you call those things that she uses.
The size. Yeah.
The size, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she definitely took one to the gut there, and yeah, she was pretty banged up by the end of this. But they tried to leave to save face there, and the Avengers are still inching closer and closer. Now you got
Spider-Man in there. I thought that was super awesome with him. About time Spider-Man gets some freaking respect,
It's not only interesting in that sense, it's cool because that's literally how the Daredevil run started, I think, was Zdarsky, was Spider-Man basically saying, like, you can't do this anymore, because he fucking accidentally ended up killing somebody at the start of the run, right? Because he was happy. So I think the fact that we're kind of coming full circle now with Spider-Man again being like, nah, like this guy has to go down. Like it's funny because like we did have essentially no one there knew what they were fighting for, essentially. Like they all have some sort of idea of what they're fighting for.
Yeah. They all think they're right. So that's a good sort of fight.
But it's all bad guys fighting each other. Daredevil and Punisher's crew. Like Daredevil's essentially turned into a villain in this arc, as far as I'm concerned. Like he thinks he's doing it for the right reasons, but like
but so does Punisher.
Right. And there's like a whole like heaven and hell type of thing going on between them, right? Because he's more of the religious type, and and Punisher is just like, he's been taken over by evil or whatever. So like it's really interesting. I'm really digging it right now. This series, it's got a lot of great stuff going on for it. I mean, I'm sure this is maybe the last we're gonna see of the Punisher though, because it has to go and wrap up in his own series, whatever's going on with this now. But it was cool that they actually got to throw down. We've been kind of seeing this amp up for a while here, so it was cool. What'd you give it?
I'll give this 4.25, easy.
Same.
That ending pushed it up.
Same, 4.25 out of 5. Yep. All right, Poison Ivy, Chris.
Let's see. Poison Ivy. There it's physical copy. Another banger here, I think. This is a good issue. Great art inside. I don't know if this is the original artist. This is it Takara or something. And woof. I love the art here. I can't say enough about the art here style. It's not over the top, but it was perfect for the story. Basically, Harley Quinn comes back, and they just get the together time with Poison Ivy, and I think she shares a bit of the green with Harley, so Harley can kind of see what's going on. So a lot of the issues a little bit trippy, but it was just a good time. You get they treat Harley right here. They make her kind of smart. It's not like that. The dumb wisecracking Harley. She's there trying to help Poison Ivy kind of come to terms with everything that's going on. There's a bit of throwback to some of the earlier episodes because Harley's kind of following the trail of Poison Ivy, and all the kind of some of the small stuff she did in the previous issues. Harley showing this garden that she planted and turned into some big wild garden, and then they talk about when Poison Ivy's going to come back to Gotham, and they have a little bit of I don't want to say disagreement, but Poison Ivy basically says, I got things to do, and my home isn't in Gotham anymore, and then or my home is with you, Harley, and then Harley I got to go back to Gotham, so come to me when you're ready. So it was a nice breather issue, and I thought it was perfect. I loved it. I give this a 4.25, maybe even a 4.5.
Wow!
Just because it's a different type of issue, different there's no action in there, and I don't know if this Poison Ivy series needed to be pushed out another 6 issues or whatever, but this issue definitely needed to come out. And if you got to go through the rest of them just for this issue would be worth it.
Nice. Good to hear. Nice. Yeah, and then we got this last page here.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, they're definitely in love, these two, in this issue. Next up, we got Gotham City Year 1, number 5. Yeah, I got that right here. So this is one more issue to go on this 6-issue miniseries. This issue was okay. I mean, if I'm going to compare this to Human Target, let's say, that Tom King also is writing, and they're both kind of like these like detective stories with like a femme fatale type angle. And this one, obviously, clearly from the art side of things, are trying to make it like more like a noir, like old detective type of story, because it is taking place back in the day. It is old Gotham. You kind of are able to do the whole PI like the angle, and this is before Batman's time, and like the whole thing with the legacy of the Waynes in town, and people having money and gangsters and all this kind of shit. So it's a perfect setting for this kind of story. But like, I don't know, like the way this issue unfolded and kind of flip-flopped on who the actual bad guy is in this mystery, I felt wasn't as satisfactory, like to my liking, as it has been in Human Target. So if I had to compare the two, unfortunately, and maybe I shouldn't, because obviously these are 2 different books, but they kind of both got similar type of themes, just treated differently, I feel like, between the 2 books, and they're written by the same writer. So I'm going to go ahead and compare them. This is the lesser of the 2, quite frankly. And this is only 6 issues. Human Target has been 12. Human Target has a lot of good things going for it, in the sense that like it does have the superhero aspect to it. This is kind of just playing it straight. Like there's no superheroes in this. So you know, your mileage may vary in kind, but like the art's awesome. Like it's a really good mood setter. Like it's perfect for this period and the type of story that they're trying to tell in this. You know, this issue was just all right though. There's this whole scene here where like he went to like I don't know, like a psychic type woman that he sometimes gets help from in cases, and then like some of the mystery is kind of unfolds through like a tarot card type of reading type of sequence, which was, you know, it kind of felt like it went on too long for me. I just didn't like the way kind of the mystery unfolded in this one, but again, the art's great. Phil Hester, yeah, like look at this, absolutely killed it on the art on this series. So, but I give this issue a 3.5 out of 5. It's not bad, but it's not, I think, his best. And you know, for being a book that's kind of like outside of the whole Batman stuff, you know, I'd rather actually pick up like one of the other Batman books, one of the millions of Batman books that's out there, I feel like, over this one, quite frankly, because, you know, it's hard to do that, to make something that I like the things that are kind of like Batman adjacent, don't get me wrong, but it does help when he shows up in your book, right? Like it kind of does, it does make things more interesting. And because you don't really have him as one of the main characters in this, it's taken a little bit more, I think, to kind of get me super invested in this story. So, all right, next up, we got Batman. Speaking of Batman 132, I got my issue right here.
I got a variant cover here.
Ooh, nice variant.
Art term, Catwoman. Nice. Not a bad A cover though.
No, it's a nice looking cover for sure.
It's not artist though, for sure, in this issue.
Yeah, well, that's him. That is Jorge Jimenez there, right? So, yeah, it's too bad, but you know.
Yeah. Well, the story's starting to grow on me here a little bit. You know, it's still, you know, getting to see some of the other characters in this, I don't know, multiversal Gotham where he's at. Whether this needs to be in his main run story, I'm still on the fence on that, but I just wasn't really digging the art style for this one here. This was like some Bronze Age thing. Like, I can't figure out who Bruce Wayne is. I know when he went to that suit or to that gala, he's got that little stash or something going on. But on the plus side, the story has grown on me, and if they had this guy on the art there, I think would just be knocking us out of the park again. But you know, it's good to see kind of Selina there, like, oh, brutal. And well, the story is decent. The backup story is okay. I don't really care too much about whatever they're trying to search. Or what happened? Is it Damian Wayne that's going through the universe in the backup story to try and find out where Bruce Wayne is? Is that what's going on?
Tim Drake.
Yeah, I mean, you had that toy man there or something happening in the back. But anyway, yeah, what do you think about this?
I like this issue. Like you said, it's growing on me for sure. Like it kind of always takes me a moment to wrap my head around where we're at in this book, because it is a Batman title and it's not an Elseworlds title, and it's supposed to be taking place in main continuity, but yet it is in another dimension, essentially another Earth that we haven't really seen before. So I think it's I really, you know, it's an interesting story. I feel like you haven't really seen that often or at all in Batman, so like the main title. So I like that he's going for it. Like I do like the balls on Zdarsky kind of going for it in this story, because like I said, it takes me a moment every time I start reading the issues to kind of get situated again in this time and place that he's in, right? But yeah, I mean, it's not too far removed from like the world that we know. I mean, obviously you still have the same types of characters, but they're just slightly different, a lot of them, or at least their positions in this world are different. And then you got big weird ones that are like the Gordon skeleton. Like I don't know what the hell's going on there, right? So it's like
yeah. Well, but they say that might be just a hallucination because the town. I don't know. Who knows?
But yeah, I love the whole thing, like the whole them versus the government type of Judge Dredd-esque type shit that's going on in this world. Like the rich and corrupt are kind of taking over Gotham, and he figures out by the end of this, like they need a Batman again here. Like there's no one basically to push back against the people that are being oppressed essentially in this timeline, right? So I think that's pretty cool. Like yeah, he kind of like, you know, he finally realizes what he needs to do while he has while he's here currently in this timeline, right? So I think that the fact that this backup story with Tim and the Toy Man is gonna I guess intersect with him coming over there to help him, I would assume. I mean, Mr. Terrific is in this issue, which is cool. Kind of setting that in motion for him. It looks like. So yeah, I'm digging what he's selling, man. I'm like really liking everything, and I don't hate the art. I agree with you. It's not the previous artist that we had, but I don't think it's bad either. But it's not like, wow, look at this artist. It's just like, yeah, it's a decent artist, I feel like. But yeah. Anyways, so what'd you give this one?
I that art was just killing me. I give it a 3.5.
Oh, I give it a 3.75 this issue. All right, next up we got Batman and Joker, Deadly Duo. Got this issue right here.
Yeah, I'm just reading this online, so I'll let you take the reins on this one.
This issue was fucking awesome. This is a great issue, man. This book is honestly, don't be like Chris, guys. I hope you guys pick this up physically. You missed out on this one, man. The series just keeps getting better and better. This is one of the best Batman books on the stands right now. I'm willing to say it's crazy how good this book is. I'm very surprised at it. It's actually, maybe it's just because I kind of was just like I was like underselling this book and being like, oh, I don't know about this, but in writing and art, I think Silvestri's doing a great job on this series. I don't know, man. It's really surprising to me. Like I feel like I haven't read or seen anything from this guy since the 90s, and then all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere with this Batman miniseries. Which is really good. I mean, I love that it's Black Label. It's out of continuity. I love the old Harley and Joker scenes here. You got some classic Harley as a bad guy scenes in this issue. The Harley dialogue was awesome when she's in that pit there. That story kind of is still inching in closer and closer. Like that's been taking forever. Whatever's going on with Harley in this story, the last couple of issues, they've been building that up, right? She just got thrown some clothes or something to wear for some sort of special event in this issue. Yeah, man. Honestly, the best action scene probably, I would say, other than what happened in Daredevil this week, was in this one with the runaway train and the kind of maniacal kind of, you know, Die Hard-esque villain kind of approach or whatever the hell he kind of did, where he's just like, yeah, the weight of the train has to stay the same, and if not, it's gonna, you know, run into the train station and you're gonna kill all these people. And you know what I mean, it's that whole thing with the bad guy over the intercom telling him like, these are the rules, kind of, you know, like a Simon Says type thing from Die Hard 3 or something. Like, it's just like, you know, the fact that he's making them they're playing games with them, and the Joker is literally his sidekick. And the end of this issue, he throws a bunch of fat people off the train in order to save them, and it actually ends up succeeding in doing so. Like, Batman's like, I don't think we're gonna make it. Like, they're destroying everything on the train. He lit it on fire for it to, like, basically, you know, lose weight that way, because they won't really be towing that much as a result. And by the end, he's just like, he catches him after the fact and is about to beat the shit out of him, because he's like, yeah, I threw, like, you know, a bunch of fat people off, don't worry about it. Like, and then all over the intercom, the bad guy's like, yes, you've reached your goal. And it's like within minutes of like them running into the train station, right? So I'm like, that's awesome. I mean, you know, he had Nightwing, Night Cheeks, or whatever the fuck she called him. She's talking about his ass in this scene. Great dialogue, great lines, great art, great story. Love this series. It's great, man.
I like how Batman didn't really beat him up after, once he found out that they succeeded. Like you say, he's about to crack him.
Yeah.
And then he goes, like, over the intercom, okay, you win. He goes, oh, okay. Good job, Joker. Good job.
Yeah, but he killed like 12 people, they said, or something.
Exactly, yeah. It's not like he just threw one person out there.
Hey, don't worry, Bats. It's like only 12. He's like, oh, I only got rid of the big ones or something like that. And like, as a result, he probably dropped like a couple of 1,000 pounds off of the train, right? Let's say, like, if they're all like obese, maybe they're all like 300 pounders or something. Let's say, people that he threw off the train. But yeah, he still killed a bunch of people. And then, but it's one of those things that it's like, it's one of those dilemmas where it's like, you got to save the few, you got to the few to save the many, right? Like, which is basically the scenario that they were in. And I'm not going to say like, but by the end of this, these guys are going to be pals all of a sudden, or he's going to agree with his methods here. But yeah, he pulled it off because of the Joker, which is kind of interesting. And then at the end, you get like, again, like a piece of somebody's eyeball in the mail, which I guess is Gordon's now.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, I was kind of forgetting that they're sending pieces of Gordon out there. So that was
that's like
a good reminder.
It's like fucking Seven or something, this book too, right? Like, he's just sending, like, there's like, you know, this whole like I don't know, like the guy's got some sort of whole scheme that he's kind of going on with the cops here playing games and shit like that. Yeah, I love it, man. I think it's really, really good. It's much better than I feel it has any right to be. I'm just constantly, I guess I should stop being surprised by when this comes out, but every time I pick it up, I'm like, wow, this is really fucking good, actually. Yeah, man. So what'd you give this one?
Yeah, I'll give this a 4. I thought it was pretty decent too. I'm just wishing I went ahead and got them all, but Not, I got no FOMO on it though. I don't mind missing out.
I'm gonna give it a 4.25 or even 4.5 out of 5. Honestly, it's right there for me. I probably even 4.5. I thought this issue was really good. So,
Right.
and last but not least, you got Amazing Spider-Man number 19. Got my issue right here. Yeah,
Me too.
and this issue features guest writer and artist coming in. Joe Kelly is the guest writer who's written a bunch of Spider-Man before, and then you got Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson, his wife, inking him on the art here. So, what do you think of this, Chris?
I thought it's a great issue or a decent issue, but I can't give what's that JR Jr. there. I can't give him a break and let the other people just do the cover. And the cover kills me though. You know, like back through the solicitations, I don't really read what's going on. But you got the cover there. You got Black Cat and Spider-Man fighting a bunch of ninjas. I go, oh, what's going to happen here? I don't know, because there's no ninjas in this comic unless I missed them. But outside of that, that's just my pet peeve when the A cover has nothing really to do with what's going on in the comic. But what goes on in there, it's just bonkers. You know, you figure it's just a little weekend trip. And then they run into Mary Jane and her boyfriend there. And then just the dialogue that Mary Jane or Black Cat even has with Peter Parker. Are they a couple or is she trying to put these two back together? What's going on there? So, and then before any of those questions get answered, they get called away to fight a Sinister Six copy or a bunch of tech kids that have stolen Sinister Six technology or something, and they're just using it. And they pay to play, I guess.
Right. That part I don't feel was explained very well. It took me a moment to understand what the fuck was going on. That's kind of one of my criticisms I feel like about this issue was that like it took me a moment to maybe it wasn't 100% clear. They didn't set that up very well, the explanation, because it felt like you said, that's what I thought it was. It seems like Cheshire Cat there or Bunny or whatever her fucking name is there. She is getting paid from people for them to play with bad guys. Gizmo.
Yeah, basically she's up on a farm and she's got all the tech there and says, okay, you guys want to come and play Sector 6, this is going to cost you cash. And that's her side hustle, it seems.
Yeah. Cheshire Rabbit. I forgot her name, but yeah.
I know, Rabbit, that's whatever. Yeah. I'm digging that character too. I don't know much about this Rabbit character. I think I saw her once earlier, I guess, in the series.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They seem to be on friendly terms. They go to a party all together afterwards.
Yeah, fun issue, fun dialogue. Like you said, there's just the scenarios of them talking with one another, and like Black Cat basically saying, like, also them saying this takes place after the current miniseries with Black Cat and Mary Jane, which I guess now they're like officially an item now. So like this is, the classic scenario where you've seen in these romantic comedies where like the guy goes away and then he ends up being with his new girlfriend while his old girlfriend is currently there with somebody else type of deal, right? So that kind of goes down in this issue. And then she thinks like she set this in motion, I guess, for them just to get it all out in the open and kind of move on, it seems like. But
yeah, maybe
he's trying to be mature about it, and he is not obviously comfortable with what's going on. So because he's Peter Parker, right? So I think that all's great. Like I think that part really worked. I didn't love the explanation of what that whole game, that whole renting the gadgets thing was.
Yeah. And then at the end, I don't know, are they trying to keep the gadgets or?
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to turn on them here now at the end. So
yeah, just say, hey, we kind of like having this stuff. You try and stop us, and I think they're just going to get their asses kicked. But
yeah, you got a big fat Otto Octavius there. I don't know, but then also the other thing I didn't love, as much as I like Terry Dodson as an artist, I felt like it looked rushed in some spots. Like some stuff as clean lined and like really nice looking like his art usually is in some of these pages. Like some of the backgrounds were kind of dashed out, they looked like. And then
some of the kind of the small panels where it was just more kind of wordy.
Yeah.
Almost like, I don't want to say stick figures again, but just I don't know, there's a few of the battle ones or even the first few pages. But
a little bit more looser. And then like also I don't have a page here, I think that really shows it, but there's some scenes where it shows Peter's face and it's kind of chubby in the face. Like, I don't know why, like, and in other panels, like it doesn't look like it, but then other ones, like he seems like his face is like very much more rounded. And I don't know, it's just like certain panels I didn't love, like out of the art. It's weird because I think the art's really good in most places, but then other ones, it kind of threw me off. Right. So, Anyways, but yeah, this whole gag about him wearing the cat boxers was funny. Like I liked all that part about it. I like the kind of the story that they're telling here. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that guy's, I don't get the umbrella to the head, but
Yeah. So what'd you give this one?
I'll give it a 4. I liked it.
I give it a 3.75 because I had a couple of gripes there, like that I just talked about. But otherwise, I think it's a fun story. This is, I think there's this 2-parter. I think the next issue is, I think the conclusion of this little story they're telling. So probably, I guess, just to give the creative team some more time because they just finished with the dark web stuff, right? So that's okay. This is a good story to put out here. Like you said, a little bit of a palate cleanser, like with the Poison Ivy stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So that's going to do it for the books that we read this week that we're going to talk about. Let's talk about what we're looking forward to. Actually, sorry, very quickly. I actually got a piece of news here in the news. I don't know if you've seen this headline. Eddie Brock will never be Venom again. Did you see this headline, Chris?
I read something about that, but that's comics. Never is never.
Right.
Is never, you know?
I don't know why. I guess they really wanted to. Marvel released a statement saying that I guess they really wanted to make it clear, though, that the new direction for the book is going to be with Dylan or whatever his son's name is, right? Is that?
That's the way the issue seems to be leaning. And I think in the last issue there was, like, I think Dylan made a comment that Venom's never going to be yours again. But I don't know if that's an actual official statement.
Okay. Yeah, I just seen like an article that was the headline, so I didn't know if it was like some clickbait type shit. But then reading into it, I guess that they're just trying to state that this is the direction that they're going with now.
Yeah, but even throughout this whole series of Venom, Eddie Brock has never been Venom. He's been always like that, whatever, the King in Black, which isn't Venom because Venom's a different,
right?
I guess, symbiote or whatever that's been floating around. He left it with Dylan when he kind of went away.
Right. So that's basically the story that they've already been telling right now, like, is basically just going to be
like this isn't like shocking news or something, but
yeah, I don't know why they had to why this was a headline then all of a sudden, like I guess, so that's why I wanted to bring it up because I know you've been reading the book since the start this one, so I didn't know if this was
but I don't think it bodes well for Dylan or Venom either. I think if this all dies, guess who's going to be Venom again? It's going to be Eddie Brock. And
I mean, Venom has been a bunch of different people over time anyways. Flash Thompson was Venom at one point, right? So like it's like I guess it really just depends on like you said, never
whatever writer gets them or whatever ideas they come up with, to do with them.
Yeah, so I just wasn't sure if you had heard something I didn't, so that's why I wanted to bring it up with in the news here. So that I guess that's just what they're trying to state is that the new direction for the book, right? So okay.
And if that sinks, then all of a sudden Venom #1 coming out in June 2025.
Right.
And Brock is back, or who knows?
Comics, folks. Yeah, there you go. It's comics, folks. Yeah. So kind of a non-news, let's say there. So fake news. All right. What are we reading next week, Chris?
Okay. Next week's it looks like it's a heavy Marvel week. We got Avengers Forever 14, Captain Marvel 46, Hulk 12, Mary Jane and Black Cat 3, Spider-Man 5, X-Men 19, and we got Batman Beyond the White Knight 8. I think that's the last one, right?
Yeah.
And Nightclub. I'm not sure if I'm getting Nightclub 3, but I should be getting it, I think.
So yeah, it's a big week again for me too next week. So look at this. So this just goes to show you, I guess some of the cuts have been helping in terms of us scaling down our lists. Because the actual ones I'm reading digitally next week actually outweigh the physical releases that I'll be picking out. There's actually more of those that I'll be reading. So we got Batman Beyond the White Knight #8, the conclusion. Yeah, very much looking forward to that. You got Hulk 12, Kea #5, Mary Jane and Black Cat #3, and X-Men 19. Those are my physical release pickups next week. And Swamp Thing Hell #2, which I pre-ordered like a year ago, so I don't know if I'll actually be getting that or not, but that's actually coming out this month and next month. There's literally only 3 issues of this, which has taken the artist and the writer to put, like, it's been a year before they've been able to put this out. So I don't know what the hell happened there. I might have to reread the first issue just to read the second one now, because I honestly I think it's been about a year since we've talked about that book on the show.
Yeah.
So that's Swamp Thing Green Hell #2. Then you got Nemesis Reloaded #2. Nightclub 3.
Oh, that's coming out. Yeah, hopefully I get that too. That Nemesis Reloaded.
Avengers Forever 14, Fantastic Four 4. That's the one where they're actually going to reveal what happened. I think finally, Fantastic.
Maybe I'll try reading that one.
Iron Man 3, Spider-Man 5, Nightcrawlers #1, which is another of the Sins of Sinister tie-in, and I Hate Fairyland 4. Those are all ones I'm reading digitally next week. So yeah, so that with the ones I'm picking up physically, like you got this is like an old week here, like 15 fucking books here next week. But there you go. There's about 9 that I'm reading digitally next week. So it's good because a lot of these things, if I really do end up enjoying them, I will pick them up and trade or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? And then other things I just won't ever revisit again, right? Or I'll drop off my list eventually. So it's
well, Hulk's been lacking lately, hasn't it? Yeah, they're on that Hulk planet or whatever, that Hulk world.
Yeah.
And then I figure that, and that's dropping off anyways. The series is ending soon, I think.
Yeah.
Mary Jane Black Cat's just a mini series. I think I'm going to be out of Captain Marvel at the end of this arc, but we'll see.
Yeah, so there you go. It's good. It's it's all about balancing it out with the things you really want to pick up, and it's been working out good so far, it looks like. So, but still enjoying a lot of these things. So it's good to see. Good to see that the cuts are actually taking effect now. You know what I mean? It's taking them because we have to always pre-order about a couple months ahead, guys. They kind of sometimes, if you're going to make cuts on your list, it takes a couple months for you to actually see that see that actual those cuts actually take effect, right?
Those variant covers aren't they're affecting my cut list, unfortunately.
Well, at least you'll be reading more things in order to pick those up. All right. All right, guys. Our favorite book of the week, though, this week. What was it, Chris?
I'm going to have to throw it to Poison Ivy.
Ooh, wow.
Daredevil.
Wow. I sadly, Punisher and a dragon was not enough this week, Daredevil. I'm sorry to say, because I feel like
one on a bad week.
Yeah, it's a small week, but it was a decent week, and it didn't make it to the top for me either. Runner up for sure, I think, from both of us, right? Yeah. But yeah, no, it didn't make the cut. I got to go with Batman Joker Deadly Duo #4 for my favorite of the week, man. It's my first actually, I think, favorite of the week for this series. So I think this is a 7-issue series, I think, and it's definitely something I would double dip and pick up the collection when it's all done. So yeah, really good series, guys. So definitely check those out. Right. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week, guys. That's it. Another smaller show in the books, but be here next week. I might be on location recording next week's episode, Chris. So we'll talk more.
Where are you going to be?
So I might be calling in from wherever the hell I am next week. So we'll see what happens with that one. But I got a bigger week next week. Lots of great things to talk about. Make sure you subscribe, everybody, and we'll see you again. Oh,
before you go,
yeah.
Next time I see it, might have a super sweatshirt here. I don't know if you can see it there.
Hey, Superheroes Science Exhibition. Where's that from?
I don't know. But you got one.
Awesome. That's for me?
That's for you.
Oh, cool.
Sweater.
Oh, thanks. Awesome. Thanks, man.
We can be sweater buddies.
I was going to say, you got one too? Are we going to twit? Yeah. Going to twit it up?
That's it.
What do they call that? Twinning or something like that? Awesome. I look forward to it. No, that's cool, man. Thank you for that. That's a good surprise.
No worries.
Yeah. All right. See, now you got me blushing, Chris. What the hell, man? I'm trying to wrap up the show. Thank you. Very nice of you. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing you soon then in person. So, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in as always. We'll see you guys next time. Later.
All right. Cheers.